Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a video that I've been so excited to make since starting my YouTube channel, and it has also been super highly requested on the channel as well. So thank you all for all your excitement and all your very sweet comments. And today guys, we are going to be taking a look at my 36 plus piece Adventure Time Funko collection, as well as some amazing other Adventure Time grails that I have within my collection. So guys, today I am all ready for the occasion. I've got my Jake the Dog t-shirt on that I love very, very much. And I am very excited to be making this because Funko and Drop announced that this week, the second Adventure Time NFT series, Series 2, will be dropping. And oh my gosh, when I had seen the announcement, I was mind blown. This is 1000% my favorite NFT drop that Drop has ever done. I loved Series 1 of Adventure Time. We're going to take a look at that today as well. But guys, Series 2 is seriously mind-blowing. We have the royalty of Freddy as Finn and Proto as Jake. It's one standard pop with both of them in it, which I love the pop and buddy, so absolute win. And if you guys saw the animation preview of the NFT, or I like to call it the card, when you see it in drop, it is absolutely phenomenal. They actually, and they being Funko and Drop, turned the Adventure Time introduction into a animation with Freddy and Proto in it. I was freaking out. I was like, how the heck did they even do this? And I really want that for my YouTube introduction because that would just be absolutely epic. So Funko, we have some conversations to be had. But guys, there are 4 other pops that are coming out as well that I'm really hoping. I'm 1,000,000% going for the NFTs. I haven't picked up any NFTs recently besides the redemption for Rick and Morty, which that will be a video eventually when that arrives. But guys, oh my gosh, the 4 other pops, we have Susan Strong, which I cannot wait to see that pop up close. We have Tree Trunks, which I was saying would be such a perfect pop for the collection. We also have BMO, who is the Grail, who's see-through. And then guys, so that's 4. We have one other pop, which is hands down, next to a Grail that I'm going to show you today, my favorite Adventure Time pop of all time, and that is Billy as the Lich. I was absolutely mind blown, and if you guys are a fan of Adventure Time or have seen the show, and if you've seen this section with the Lich, you know that it is crazy, and the storyline is my favorite out of the whole show. I love when Billy is in the show. I love the crazy transformation that the Lich goes through and the craziness that he causes on the show as well. So long story short, I cannot wait for the NFTs, and I definitely will be going for the full royalty set as I did with the first series, which we're going to get into in this video as well. But guys, Adventure Time is super nostalgic for me. Paul also loves the show as well. I grew up watching it while it was still live airing, and literally it was a key part of my childhood. I grew up watching it with my family, with my little sister. I remember literally on the day of my high school prom watching Adventure Time before I went to go get my hair and makeup done. And it was just my comfort show growing up, even though when I look back, it's kind of like Courage the Cowardly Dog, where I'm like, okay, it's a cartoon, but it definitely was not for kids. There's a lot of evil themes and crazy things going on in Adventure Time, but I'm so glad that I got to experience it firsthand live growing up. It was seriously my favorite show and is the biggest part of my collection that I have, with over 36 pieces in it, and that's just the pops themselves. Guys, I have so many other things to show you today that I cannot wait to get into. Now I have other things, like I have an Adventure Time backpack, of course this t-shirt. This video really is just going to be focused on collectibles, so I cannot wait to show you. Let's go ahead and stop talking and just get into it already. So we're going to do out of box pops, we're going to do NFT, we're then going to do the core kind of pops that are in the collection, and then I'm going to get into a couple of other things that are actually not Funko but are super hard to find and are just out of this world. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go through my out of box collection first. So I have a bunch of out of box. I'll start with the newer ones. We have the BMO Kiss My Cook, and then also the newer Lumpy Space Princess, which I'm gonna show you all the OGs later. But these guys are so adorable. Those are 2 of them. I also have the newer Jake the Dog, as well as the newer Princess Bubblegum. So I actually got these all as a set, I want to say, from a collector who was selling a bunch of out-of-box pops along with the original Finn. So I want to say this guy was the first one that I had ever picked up for my Adventure Time collection, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got an original Finn out of box. I was freaking out. I don't remember. So this one was 2012. So that's how old these pops go back to. My Adventure Time collection are hands down, I want to say either the oldest or the second oldest that I have out of, you know, my Funko history and my collection. So let's keep going. But there's the original Finn. I also have the original Princess Bubblegum out of box, which, yes, I have glow checked. Unfortunately, she is the common. If you know, you know. We'll get into that in a little bit. I have the, I would say, original Lemon Grab, but there's only ever been one. So I have Lemon Grab, who I love. This guy never stays balanced, so I always have to lean him up against something, because with that nose, I never want it to break off. That is some nose. Lemon Grab cracks me up in the show. And then finally, the last out of box that I have for now is Flame Princess, because she's just so cute. I needed another one. Now I also have one of the Adventure Time Dwarfs. I did have the box, but I ended up putting it somewhere because I wanted to keep her out of the box. It's PB, Princess Bubblegum. I had to get her. She was so cute. I actually bought her as part of a larger Dwarves lot of like a few of them, and I just loved her, so I took her out of the box as well. So that's my smaller out of the box collection. Now let's dive right into NFTs. I have the full set of series 1, so that is Old Finn being the Grail. This one was the hardest to find. I actually purchased this one secondhand because I did not get it in the packs. I opened a bunch of packs, and guys, I did not do so well. This series 1 of Adventure Time NFTs was my first NFT drop that I ever participated in, and that's what got me to sign up for drop, because I was like, oh my gosh, I have just about the full Adventure Time collection. I can't not get the NFTs. But I did really bad with the packs, so I ended up doing some like secondary market trades and trading NFTs, but also purchasing pops outright. So this one was the Grail. It was limited to 999 pieces. Now, Drop is making this change as we speak, where the stickers are no longer going to be like the total counts that they would allow people to get. It's going to be the actual redeemed counts. So kudos to Drop, because I love that as an NFT collector. It's actually going to say how many of them were redeemed, meaning how many people actually put in the redemption order and got the pops in hand. So when you see this number on here, there's not 999 people who redeemed these, but I think the Adventure Time pops were pretty darn close. So this was Old Finn. I love his little stance. He looks so cute, and I love the beard. Shout out to my man, because he is the best beard in the whole entire world. And this one's just so cute. I love that they made this the Grail. I wasn't entirely sold on it when it first was announced, but seeing it in person, I was like, the detail just looks so incredible. I've said this once, I'll say it again. The animation category of Funko, so Rick and Morty, Adventure Time, stuff like that, cartoons, like Regular Show and Gravity Falls, shows like that translate to pop form the best. Like, seriously, this Old Finn looks straight out of a cartoon. So I love the animation pops. They'll always be my favorite categories because they just look the most authentic in pop form. So that was the Grail. There were also a bunch of legendaries. So this was Golb. He was limited to 1,600 pieces. Again, don't know exactly how many people actually redeem them, so take that with a grain of salt. But this pop cracked me up because the pop itself is huge and the box is standard size. So he really takes up like just about the full box. I don't know how they made that work, but leave it to Funko. They always do amazing things. We also got Peppermint Butler, who I love. He's so cute. He plays the scientific assistant and handyman to Princess Bubblegum. He really does everything. So that pop I was super excited we were getting. And then there's 3 more in the NFT line so far until this new series comes out. So we have Randy Butternubs, which I love the colors on this pop with the yellow, the green, the purple, the red. It just works so well together. And then the final 2, this one was hands down my favorite legendary. I was so excited to see this, and I hope one day we get an Adventure Time Series 3. I would love to get Jake's puppies as a pop. So Drop, if you're listening, please. They're some of my favorite Adventure Time characters of all time. But guys, Lady Rainicorn is seriously one of my favorites. So I was so excited that she was coming out. She's the best. I actually debated buying 2 so I could get one out of box and be able to look at her because there's no way I'm taking her out. But look how adorable she is. She's just so cute, her little face. And finally, in the NFT line, we have the royalty, meaning if you collected all the NFTs in the set, you could redeem them for Freddy in the Jake suit, which is cute because now we're getting Freddy as Finn and Proto as Jake. So they kind of did a little flip there. I love it. I think this one's so cute. Definitely looks like Jake, and I think it's absolutely adorable. So that covers us with the NFT line and my out-of-box pops. I'm gonna go now through my older collection, and then we're gonna get into the grails because I have some amazing pieces, some of which I've never actually shown before. And I also have some autograph pieces, which I can't wait to show you guys because I've actually also not shown some of those as well. So let's keep going. So out of the original collection, I have most of the pops. I'm going to go through the years on these because they are extremely old. The Funko boxes look super different, and like I said, this is my favorite collection. I am a diehard Adventure Time collector, and of course my Funko collection is the biggest out of my pop collection overall for Adventure Time, so I'm so excited to show you guys these. Like, it really makes me so excited and just, I can't stop smiling. So first off, we have the Jake car with Finn. I purchased this protector from $7 a pop, so shout out to them because they have the perfect protectors for the Funko Pop rides. So this is actually in the Pop Rides collection, but you can see it's literally Jake that has stretched out to become a car. If you've seen Adventure Time, Jake takes all different shapes. And then there's a little Finn who's actually holding a donut in the Jake car. So super cute. You can display him this way so you can see him, or you can display him this way so you can see the side of the car. There's the back as well. But on the box, we actually have the Cartoon Network logo, but the Frederator logo, which I noticed this started to disappear over time. I don't know exactly what happened between this company, but just a cool observation. And this pop was from 2016. So guys, this is 9 years old. I can't believe it. It's kind of hard to think, like, 9 years old, that's just crazy. But a lot of these had come out before I started collecting Funko, of course. I would say actually 99% of them. So super awesome that I get to have these all in my collection. I love them, and I'm gonna put that guy down. Special shout out to my family because a lot of these were birthday presents and holiday presents, and they are my pride and joy in my collection, and I seriously have them all lined up usually. I love looking at them, and I will hold on to these for absolutely forever. So let's keep going with the original collection. Next up, I have from 2013. So guys, this is 12 years old, is the original Lemon Grab in box. So I do have him both out of box and in box. And I love these older boxes because you can see like the graphics on them look so much different than they do now. Of course, this is what the old time Funko boxes look like. So on your older pops, you'll see that they have the corner with the face. I love, my favorite one is I have Rigby from Regular Show, and I love that his little face is down here. So the older pops, you'll see the face on the bottom. The Funko logo is different. Of course, we have that OG JJL sticker, and everything just looks a little bit different because the boxes were different back then. Some of my favorite features. But this guy is Lemon Grab. I have them all in protectors, so you're going to see a little bit of a glare. But next up, we will go into another OG pop, which was BMO Noir. So there's been so many BMOs that have come out over time. I'm still missing a few of them because they made so many of them, and they keep coming out with the newer ones as well. I just realized I have another BMO in my collection, and that brings us to 37 pops, and that is the BMO with the arrow, like the Peter Pan looking one. But guys, this is BMO Noir. He was a Hot Topic exclusive. I loved this episode. BMO was like a detective of some sort. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I love this because they turn the whole box black and white. And I just realized another pop that I have, guys. I have an out-of-box BMO Noir. Someone was selling him with like a missing foot or a missing arm, and I felt so bad, so I ended up purchasing it to add it to my collection. So that brings us to 38 pops. Holy cow. But I loved this episode, and I love that they did the box in this colorway. But if you look on the back, you can still see these pops in color and the logos and everything too. So super, super, super cool. This one was a later release. So this one was 2015, but we still have that older Funko logo right there. Next up, we will do, let's see if I can grab them both at the same time to show you. These two pops were two that I actually tried to get on some auctions for a while, but people knew how much they were going for, and this was like, I started collecting these at the height of the pricing, so unfortunately I didn't get too lucky with picking up them because they went quick when people were bidding on them. But we have Fiona, and of course we have Cake. So if you've seen the episodes with these two in it, Fiona is basically like the female version of Finn, and then Cake is the female version of Jake, who they turned into a cat. So it's like the opposite, which I thought was super cute. I loved these episodes of Fiona and Cake, and they also made the spin-off of Fiona and Cake, spin-off of Adventure Time. So definitely check it out if you haven't. I think it's on HBO. But guys, these two are so adorable. So here's a close-up of Fiona. She's got her sword and everything. This one was another one from 2013. You can see the corner there with her face. Notice how BMO Noir did not have that because he came out a little bit later. And Cake also came out in 2013 as well. And funny enough, this actually has the OG Hot Topic sticker on it. It says AT for Adventure Time, Cake Pop vinyl made in China, $12.50. Well, I can tell you Cake does not go for $12.50 anymore, but super cool that that's on there. So I love the detail on Cake. I love the little like mouth and the cutout on the side here too on the box. And I love Cake's voice in the show. She's just the cutest. And Fiona is so adorable too, with her little hair popping out just like Finn's. So these two, absolutely adorable. I love them. And next up, we will take a look at some other rare ones. Well, actually, let me show you some more of the common ones of the older collection. The next one up is, of course, Finn. Now, I do have him out of box as well, but guys, I'm so grateful too because these boxes are in immaculate condition for the age that they are. This is another 2013 one, and this one has the price tag on it for when it was originally sold. I can promise you they're not $9 anymore, but someone originally picked this up for $9, which is crazy. I wish that I was collecting back then because I would have gotten them all, especially the Emerald City Comic-Con ones, which we'll get into in a little bit. But this one was also 2013, so this is another one that's 12 years old. It's kind of crazy when holding them, where I'm like, they're literally 12 years old. That's absolutely insane. And it just goes to show you how popular Pops were and the different IPs and licensing that they even had back then, which is amazing to think about. So here's Finn. He's pretty generic, you know. We've got the other side of the collection here, which we're going to take a look at, but it's different than, for example, like Fiona and Cake. We're going to take a look at these guys very, very soon. So there's Finn. I'll also show you before we jump into our princesses, because those were some of my favorites. And I wish that for the future NFT collections for Adventure Time, I would love to get the hot dog princess. Like some of the more random characters that we don't have pops of, I think would be so cute. So hopefully we'll get a series 3. I didn't think we would ever get a series 2, truthfully, but I'm so glad that there are so many people who love Adventure Time where Drop saw the value in it. But anyways, guys, I could literally talk about this all day, so I'll keep going here. This is the original classic BMO. This guy was from 2013 and also has the original for sale sticker on it as well. You can see BMO's cute little face there in the corner and the other side of the collection there on the back versus what Finn had. And just super classic. There's really nothing special to him. I'll show you him up close. He looks very cute though. BMO is so adorable in the show. BMO does everything, and I would definitely say the quantity of BMOs throughout the entire Adventure Time collection are endless. I mean, we have Blushing BMO, who I don't have, it's one of the few. BMO Noir, we have this BMO, we have Metallic BMO, we have a Glow in the Dark BMO. Hold on. We have a Kiss My Cook BMO, we have a Peter Pan one, and then we have the Emerald City Comic-Con. And I feel like I'm still missing one or two. Oh, and the new one coming out in the NFT line. So that's 9 BMOs from the ones that I can recall, and I feel like I got them all. 9 BMOs, guys. That's crazy. But BMO took so many different forms. I love the Blushing one. That's one that I still need to find, but he's so adorable. Like, come on. And I can't wait for the new one. The Grail BMO is see-through. It looks amazing. Funko has been doing such an incredible job, and the pops just keep getting better and better. So many lines that I've always wanted to add to, such as Buffy or Rick and Morty, for example, with the NFTs. We've had, you know, just so many incredible lines come back, and especially through the NFTs. I love it. So, BMO, check. Next up, guys, we have LSP. So this is the original Lumpy Space Princess, who looks very different than the re-release of the Pops that came out. So this is the re-release, this is the original. You can definitely tell that this one's older, but this is Lumpy Space Princess. This is a 2014. We still have our little face there, old Funko logo, old JJL. She's 11 years old. And what's really cool too is the font here and the spacing is also super different than modern Pops as well. I noticed that on her. So it was a lot smaller. There wasn't any of the warnings and stuff besides the little one that's there, written there. So very, very different. The boxes were much more simple back then, which I love. But this is Lumpy Space Princess. She's so funny, and Paul does the voice of her so hysterical. It makes me laugh every freaking time. I wish I had a video clip of it. Baby, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you make me laugh literally till I'm almost in tears. It is so funny. Paul also loves Adventure Time as well, so shout out to my love. Please give him a follow at deadpaul_collects on Instagram. Check out his amazing artwork. He made a beautiful Jimmy Pool print, and check out our website, link in bio. So guys, Paul and I have talked so much about Adventure Time, and he knows how much I love the show. He rewatched the show and just cracks me up with the scenes and everything that he loves. It just makes me smile so much. So it's cute that we get to share those memories as well. So guys, next up we have a couple more from the original collection before I get into the grails. So we have Flame Princess, who is hands down one of my favorite characters in the entire show. I thought she was so cute. I thought the relationship between her and Finn was so beautiful, and I just love this Pop. She just looks adorable in there, and I felt so bad for her in the show too. She's very tiny as a Pop, and I love her hair. I have her out of box as well because I could not resist. And what's very special about her, so these Pops were like, I call them like the one-offs. Like, I felt like they were not part of the common crew. Like, if I had to think, the Pops from the original collection that would have been NFTs, if they hadn't already released them in the original collection, it would have been these guys. So they're much harder to find. They're not as common as the other ones, but they're some of my favorites. So this was part of the collection with Marceline with the hat and guitar, the Jake car with Finn Pop Ride, which actually says Pop Ride on it. Since when do they put Pop Rides on the back of boxes? Only the classics. I love it. And then the Lich as well. But I love Flame Princess. She's so cute. She's just so adorable. And I love also that the drawing here looks very different from her, but looks a lot like the cartoon. So absolutely love her. She's super cute. And that leads us into our next princess, which is the original Princess Bubblegum, who I also have out of box. I have several of her, from the re-releases to the out of box to this one to another one I'm going to show you. I loved her. I love that she was very scientific, but she was also a princess. So she was very intelligent, which I always loved about her in the show. So this is the original PB. I think she's so cute, and it looks just like her. And her hair is huge, which I showed you on the out of box. She's just so adorable. There she is there. And this is a 2014. So we also have her on the corner there. She just looks so adorable. And how could you not love Princess Bubblegum? She's just so cute. Okay, guys. Couple more OGs to go before we get into the grails and other pieces that I have in my collection, so stick around because we have a couple more amazing things to look at. You guys are gonna love it. But we have 4 more originals to go before getting into the rest. The next one up is, of course, how could we have a Funko collection with Adventure Time without having Jake? And I love this Pop because it literally doesn't say Jake the dog on it. It literally just says Jake, which I always thought was funny. Growing up, we had a super adorable Chihuahua who we named Jake, and we always used to joke around because it was Jake the dog, and we had a Jake the dog, and he was just the sweetest dog ever. But this is Jake. I love that his arms go up and wiggle because he takes all different shapes in the show. He is definitely the OG shapeshifter. And this one is from the early collection. It is a 2012, guys. This Pop is 13 years old. And funny enough, it has the OG Hot Topic sticker on there, which someone crossed out, which is actually really funny. So it says AT Jake Pop Vinyl. Man, I really wish back in 2012 I had collected, which really was 2 years after Pops came out. So these guys were made very early on, which was really the height of Adventure Time. And it's amazing that we have these beautiful pieces from back then to collect and celebrate now. So 2012, guys, that's amazing. Now, next up, we have a couple more pieces. So I'm gonna show you another duo that I loved from the show, even though Ice King, spoiler alert, really, I did not like him. I loved his pop and I loved his colors and everything, and I love that he had Gunter and he had the ice castle, but he wasn't very nice to the princesses and he would cause a lot of chaos in the show. So I didn't like that he stole the princesses. But this is Ice King, also voiced by Tom Kenny, who voices SpongeBob. If you didn't know that, it blew my mind when I originally found it out. I love this pop. I think it looks so authentic. It looks like I literally reached in and grabbed the cartoon and put it right onto a pop vinyl. I love just the simplicity of it. The colors match so well. They did such a beautiful job with this. And Ice King's crazy in the show, but he's just iconic as well. 2014, so older, bottom of the box there. And he's just so cool. The funny thing is with these pops, a lot of them you'll find, see how long his nose is? Same goes with Lemon Grab. You'll see a lot of original Adventure Time boxes where the front of the plastic here has either the paint from the nose or is broken because of their noses, because they made the noses super long. But what cracks me up is that his hand, and I apologize for the glare, his hand there is very tiny. So anyway, that's the Ice King, and I had to pick up to show you at the same time little Gunter. Gunter serves as Ice King's little minion. This pop is harder to find, and Gunter does not come up very often, and I love him. He's one of, like, again, the characters that I would have thought, if he didn't come out already, would have been an NFT, because the NFTs are kind of like the more rare characters in shows that aren't the common ones. So I love Gunter. I think he's so cute. I love that they made him look like an ice cream. Like, he looks like one of those SpongeBob ice cream pops, if you know what I'm talking about, that you get from, like, the ice cream truck. And he just looks so super cute. He looks, again, identical to the box. Like, they really did such an amazing job with this. And Gunter is a 2013. So again, older, bottom of the box, just so freaking cute. And the old Funko logo. I miss those days. I wish I collected back then, guys, because my goodness, I would have bought all of these pops at Hot Topic and GameStop and all that fun stuff. But let me know if you guys, as collectors, regret and wish that you were collecting at a time when a specific pop came out. If so, let me know what that pop or pops are, because I would love to know. Like, is there something that you wish you were around and collecting that you could have gotten for retail? I feel like I have a list of regrets, even though I was not a collector back then, and one of them is definitely the Adventure Time collection. Another one, hands down, Buffy. Another one, the Lost Boys. I mean, the list goes on, especially like Coraline, for example, too. A lot of those pops skyrocketed in value, and I really wish that I was a collector back when all those pops were out for retail. Like, could you imagine getting a pop for $9 and it's worth $100 like 10 years later? Crazy. So let me know. I also wish I was an early collector, because I would have been going to every San Diego Comic-Con and getting all the pops that were like, you know, 48, 96 pieces. Oh gosh, so many regrets, even though it's like subconscious regrets because I wasn't a collector back then and I was also very young. But anyways, guys, before we get into our Grail section, I have to show you my favorite character in all of Adventure Time. Even though I say I could never pick a favorite, this is just my favorite, and that is the Lich. So I love this pop for so many reasons. One of them is that they turned him sideways because he was too big to fit into the box. So when you display the pop, if you turn him like this, you get to see him face on, which I think is so cool. The Lich, I have several of. My absolute favorite character in all of Adventure Time. I think he's extremely evil and crazy, but I loved the animation. I loved the colors. The Lich was always my favorite. I loved the storyline because they would bring the Lich back throughout Adventure Time, whether he was possessing a snail or coming back through Billy or, you know, really deceiving the other Adventure Time characters. I loved the storyline throughout all of Adventure Time because they just kept bringing him back. So the Lich was always my favorite. If you didn't know, the Lich is actually voiced by Ron Perlman, who is an incredibly famous actor, Sons of Anarchy, Hellboy, so well known, and he voiced the Lich, which I had no idea until, of course, I found out, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Makes sense though, has an amazing voice. But this is the Lich. It is the best Funko Pop to ever be created for many reasons. If you look close, you can see that he has the broken horn here. I'm actually just gonna pop him out of the box because I really want you guys to be able to see the detail up close. And the detail on this pop is unmatched. Truly, they do not make pops like this anymore. This is a 2015. So again, it's got that older Funko logo there on the bottom. Guys, this pop is just amazing. So I'm going to show you the graphic first because you can kind of get a sense for where the detail is going to be. So take note of the broken horn and the skeletal structure there on his wrists and hands. So if you look up close, you can literally see through the bones on his wrist. I love the mouth. The eyes, they absolutely nailed. They made them like the pale green. And you can just see in the corner there the broken horn. The attention to detail on this pop is out of this world, and truly they do not make Funko Pops like this anymore. This pop is just exceptional. It's always been my favorite character, so it's very cherished, and I think he's the best villain in any show that has ever come out. So if you have a favorite villain, let me know in the comments. And if you've watched Adventure Time, by the way, please let me know. Have you seen the show originally? Have you seen reruns? Have you seen the spin-offs of Fiona and Cake? Have you collected Adventure Time? Let me know. I would love to know. Again, it's very nostalgic. I grew up loving the show and it was a big part of my childhood, so I would love to know any stories that you may have as well. But guys, the Lich is just my all-time favorite character, and Funko just absolutely killed it. Even the crown up there, the detail of the hood and the cloak and the mouth is just like, oh my gosh, so freaking good. So that completes the original collection. I still have more original collection pops, but I'm going to consider those grails because they definitely are. So before we jump into the grails, I'm going to show you a couple other pieces that I have in my collection that I wanted to highlight because they're awesome and they're not very well known. So I wanted to show them off. So first things first, and I'm just going to move the camera a teensy bit so I can show you guys this. I'm doing this in one take, guys, so I'm gonna just adjust our camera a tiny bit while I tell you again how much I love Adventure Time because it's the best show ever. And I have two of these handmade acrylic signs. So I have I always pronounce this incorrectly, Enchiridion. So this one looks amazing. It's all acrylic pieces that were then put together to assemble like one layer, so it's super thin. But this is like the book of evil in Adventure Time, to put it lightly. It's completely intertwined with the Lich's story throughout Adventure Time, and it's just so well made. I love this. It even shows that it's bookmarked at a specific point. And the little mirror pieces, it's just so pretty. And then I also have the Lich as well. This is my favorite. Like, guys, are you kidding me? Also all handmade and hand assembled out of acrylic. The eyes glow in the dark, green, of course. And the outer here, all of this clear, also glows green. I told you guys I was obsessed with the Lich. He was also my original logo for everything before I started, like, you know, showing who I am on my Instagram account, which you should definitely check me out on Instagram at Funko Freak Collects for so much more of my collection, updates on live streams on YouTube alerts, stuff like that. So go check me out. Let me know what you think of this video as well. But guys, the Lich was my first logo ever. I actually had Marceline for a tiny bit on Whatnot before I switched to the Lich, and then that was everything. So the Lich has always been my favorite. It's definitely intertwined in my collecting journey as well. Long story short, I love this piece so much. The glow on this is absolutely crazy. I'll show you up close. The detail on it literally looks like fake. It's just so beautiful. We've got the broken horn and everything, and I just love this piece. So I have it hanging up with my collection as well. For reference, it's like almost the size of my face, so you can kind of tell it's like pretty big and very nicely made. So I love these two. You know, it hangs as well, so it's really nice to keep with my collection, and those glowing green eyes are just the cherry on top. So two other pieces that I have that are also not Funko but are really impressive. I have an old Jazzwares piece. So this was made, I feel like it's 2014 based on the label here, but this one's really cool. So there's several of these. I'm going to show you what they are in a second, but it is the Adventure Time Undead People set by Jazzwares. So this one glows in the dark. So you can see I have it in the original blister packaging. I'll never take these guys out. But we have like the little evil cupcake. This is from the Zombie Undead People episode. We have Zombie Finn, and then ice cream and little candy heart. So when you flip it over, it's really cool because it shows you all the original ones as well. So this one is Zombie Ice Cream, Zombie Finn, Zombie Cupcake, and Zombie Heart. There's also the Candy People pack, which is Finn, Princess Bubblegum, Cinnamon Bun, who we need a pop of, by the way, and Peppermint Butler. And then the Fiona and Cake pack, which is Cake, Fiona, Marshall Lee, and Princess Gumball. So that was, again, like the swap episode where everyone became the opposite. So this was Marceline's like alter ego, like opposite, and then Princess Bubblegum's opposite as well with Fiona and Cake. I really hope we get a Marshall Lee and Princess Gumball pop as well. We really need those. But this is so cool. It just goes to show you it's like the old time toys, and I love it. You can see why. And another reason why I haven't taken out is that Jake literally wraps all the way down through it, his little feet at the bottom there. And I just think it's so cool. I actually have it hanging up like it would in a store in my collection, so I have it hanging up like this on the wall. I think it's so cool, and like I said, they do glow. The glow sticker actually glows as well. So even an older piece and it still glows. It just goes to show you they're just made so well. These older pieces of collectible history, older Adventure Time pieces, and the last piece before we get into the Grail section and more rare items is I have an old Kid Robot Loot Crate exclusive, and it is the, oh my gosh, guys, it's such a good collectible. It makes me smile. Puff Jake and Lil Finn Kid Robot Loot Crate exclusive. Ooh, that's a mouthful. So the glow on this is unreal. I love the old Kid Robot pieces, and they actually make a color version of this, but the glow was always my favorite, and my family got this to me as a very special present. They are so hard to find nowadays, especially. I wish it said the date on here. It doesn't, but it's really cute. They said design with the feeling of liking someone a lot. That's like so cute. But this is what like the in color version looks like, and this is what the glow looks like. I love the glow. It looks like gummy almost, if that makes sense. And we have Finn in a Jake puffer jacket with a tiny BMO and his sword on his back. It's just such a good collectible. I love this one so much. So shout out to my family because they also had gotten me this and surprised me with it. I'd wanted this piece for a very long time. I just love it so much. Okay, guys, we are almost there. We are now into the Grail section of this video. So let's get into it with a bang. This is a very hard piece to come by. I actually, funny enough, had ordered this off eBay. And one piece that I still don't have in my collection is the tin of the Pocket Pops with, I believe it was Finn, Jake, and BMO. And I ordered that. It was a price that I was like, okay, that's amazing, because usually that piece, that little tin, was going for like $80, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And I had found this, and lo and behold, I get it in the mail. I open it up, and I'm like, huh, that does not feel like a tin. Well, it was not. It was actually a blister pack, but I ended up keeping it because I loved it so much. Still in the original packaging, and I wish it had the date on it. It is made by Funko though, and it's a really old piece. So this is the blister pack of the Pocket Pops of Finn, Jake, and BMO. So they're tiny. I wanted to take these out of here for so long, but I refused to because I want to keep the original feeling to it. But this is what it looks like up close. So they are the size of like the Funko keychains, but just not keychains. So again, they do make the tin that has the 3 of them, but this one was the blister one, which I didn't even know existed. So this is what the back looks like. It's really harder piece to come by. It's not one I ever knew existed, but to my surprise, I had ended up getting this instead of the tin. So super cool piece. Everything happens for a reason. I love it. I think it's really so adorable, and they're really detailed up close too. And they look like the Pops. So very cool piece, hard to find. Love that old Funko logo back there as well. Now moving on, I'm going to show you guys my next piece, which is actually a custom that I commissioned by an artist named Jesse Bones, who was absolutely amazing. He had done a lot of other customs of like bloody, for example, Superman, and like really gnarly looking, beautiful, bloody, gutsy pieces. And I was like, oh my gosh, who is this artist? Found out it was Jesse, and I ended up commissioning him to do one of my liches because I had purchased a second lich and I was actually using it as like an out-of-box pop. So I ended up using this as a commission piece. It is so amazing. I basically told Jesse, you know, go for it, whatever you want to do. You're the artist, and I would love to see how you use this piece and create something out of it. And Jesse just went absolutely in the right direction for what this pop should be. So guys, this is my custom Jesse Bones Lich. It is amazing, and let me show you why. So basically the whole Lich's face was removed, and Jesse made it like this like crazy mouth void that's not only blacklight reactive, but all the teeth glow. But what's really cool is the teeth actually protrude with the tongue out of the mouth. So it's really like cool to me, because the way that I interpreted this was like, if you took the Lich's face or like mask off, this would be what's inside. The tongue is absolutely amazing, like just everything, the whole inside of the mouth is done. I love this piece. I am super psyched that I get to be the owner of this beautiful custom piece. And again, being a huge fan of the Lich, being my favorite character, I was very excited to get this done. I had not seen any pictures of it while Jesse was working on it, so when I unboxed it, this was a while ago, like early on when I was collecting, I opened it and I was like, oh my gosh, freaking epic. So go check out Jesse on Instagram. He is also a tattoo artist, so if you're in the area, go support his tattoo business. But guys, he just did such amazing work. I love how this piece came out. So next up is another pop that is pretty hard to come by. It is also a 2013, and this is one that I was searching and searching and searching for. The price has absolutely skyrocketed in recent years. It is the Flocked Jake Toy Wars exclusive. Now, funny enough, if you hear the word Toy Wars, you might confuse it with Card Wars, which is a big theme in Adventure Time in the show. Jake and Finn do this game that leads to this whole journey and this whole crazy, like, I don't even know how to explain it, Card Wars. But when I had seen Toy Wars, I really thought that it was based off of Card Wars, but it wasn't. It was actually a store that had sold this as an exclusive, and then they ended up going out of business, which was really sad. So this is a very special pop to me. It is flocked. I wish that we got more flocked Adventure Time pops, because flocked are my favorites. But the box is like the same as the original Jake. The only difference is it's got the sticker and he's flocked. So super, super awesome. I love this pop. Again, 2013. This has become definitely a grail, going into a pretty expensive price tag. This guy and Zombie Jake have also, you know, just absolutely skyrocketed, but I love this one. It reminds me of Card Wars, so it has great memories behind it of watching the show. But it's just an amazing pop that I love so much. So this one's also really much more difficult to come by. And of course, they're not getting produced because they were way older, 12 years old to be exact, and that store had closed down. So long story short, I love that pop. Now we have 4 more pops to go. I'm gonna go through 1 more original, 2 autographed, and then the Grail of all Grails that I have in my collection. So the next one that I have, actually, this is now, we're getting into the $7 pop shield armor section, because these guys are much more expensive, harder to find, and I just love them so much. This is my Marceline with hat and guitar. Marceline and PB and everyone, I felt like Adventure Time for a while. It was like going down the musical route because they were all singing. But Marceline loved to sing. She's played by Olivia Olson, who we'll talk about in a little bit for a very specific reason. But Olivia Olson also played Veronica, I think her name was Veronica, who was Doofenshmirtz's daughter on Phineas and Ferb. Can you guys believe that? Again, another one where I was like, holy cow, I can't even believe that. I was like, that's crazy. Like, literally, she played in Phineas and Ferb and in Adventure Time. Awesome. She's so cool. But this is Marceline with her guitar and hat. This is a harder one to find. That definitely was way more expensive than the classic Marceline. Marceline's a vampire in the show. I absolutely love her. She and the Lich were always my favorites, but the Lich is just so creepy. I love it. But Marceline was always my favorite as well. So I'm gonna call it a tie for now. But again, this is like part of that more rare collection where they actually had the pop ride on the back. This is what she looks like more in the show. A lot of cosplayers use this to dress up as Marceline for conventions because this is like the iconic outfit for this one scene. And here she is, just looking absolutely amazing. I love her. She's so cute. Look at that little cute vampire mouth and teeth. Okay, 3 more pops to go. The next one, like I promised, would be 2 autographed. So I'm gonna go with, speaking of Marceline, this was my first autograph mail-in. Now guys, this pop is another 2012. I was super nervous. I did this through Zobi. Zobi is amazing. I've purchased pops from them. I've purchased autographs before, but this was a mail-in, and I was super nervous because I had never done a mail-in before, and I wanted to make sure, this being a pop that was sentimental to me because of course it was from my family, but it was also 2012. I had gotten it for my birthday, and I didn't get it in 2012, by the way, but it was just very special to me, and Zobi absolutely kicked butt. Guys, I love it so much. This is the original 2012 Marceline that I literally have signed and quoted by Marceline herself, Olivia Olson. I still freak out, and like I cannot stop smiling when I think about it to this day, because I grew up loving this show, loving Marceline, and to think like she touched this box, like she breathed on it, you know what I mean? Like Marceline herself signed and held this pop of mine. It's just really special, especially growing up, just absolutely loving the show. So it actually says, I eat shades of red. If you know Marceline in the show, she sucks the color red out of things because she's a vampire. So she doesn't like drink blood, but she like grabs red instead. It's really cute how they did that. And this is like her original pop, so you can see her big hair, which weighs down the pop a lot. It's her classic outfit, her little boots, and I also have this, I want to say, yeah, it's JSA'd certified. So 2012 literally still has the Hot Topic sticker on there for $12.50. I wish this pop was $12.50, and how special that I have an autograph by Olivia Olson. Crazy. Oh my gosh, so crazy. Now my next pop, second to the last, is a very special one because this is another autograph pop. This is my only other autograph, and this one I got to meet the actress in person, got to literally talk with her. She sounded just like, I'm gonna spoil it, Princess Bubblegum, but Paul was also with me, so we got to share this memory together. Like, how special is that? I felt like all the roads were intertwining. I was like, I'm with my man, I'm with the love of my life, we're meeting Princess Bubblegum together. I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on right now? But I got to meet her along with Paul. Her name is Hinden Walsh, and $7 a pop did a signing with all of the Teen Titans voices. She voiced Starfire, but she also voiced Princess Bubblegum. So I got to meet her along with Paul at New York Comic Con in 2024 when we went together. Guys, I freaking got... Okay, so this is a Grail Pop. Let me start off there before I kind of dive in. But it's not only a Grail, it's not only harder to find, it's not only old, 2014, but I now have it quoted and autographed by Hinden, and honestly, like, I feel like there's not many of this pop that are like that. So this is my 2014 exclusive 2,500 piece Princess Bubblegum Glow in the Dark edition, SDCC exclusive. This pop, oh my gosh, I'll never forget the time that I got it. I was so excited because I had really wanted this one. It's one of the more rare and Grail pops out of the whole collection. It's the special edition Princess Bubblegum, and like I said, this one glows. So her hair literally turns like white. It's like a white glow. It's very unique. I love it. I think it's super cool. Very different than anything else in the whole collection. But I actually got it, of course, signed by Hinden. It says PB there for Princess Bubblegum with a little heart. And it says You So Spice. And Princess Bubblegum said like the most random things, but I loved You So Spice. Like, that always stood out to me. So I was super excited to get to meet Hinden. It was like literally like looking at myself as a little girl, and it was a little bit emotional because I was like, you know, you're meeting someone who was a big part of your childhood now with the love of your life. And it was just a beautiful moment, something I'll always cherish. And guys, we literally got to meet Princess Bubblegum. She was so sweet, by the way, so polite, so kind, so excited, and just such a sweetheart. And her voice, oh my gosh, it literally sounds exactly like PB. I was like, they cast this show perfectly. But this is my Glow Princess Bubblegum. Definitely harder to find. Absolutely love her, and this is one of my favorite pops in the collection. Whew, guys, this has been some video, and I just want to thank you all so much for watching this. It's a big deal to me as a collector because these pieces mean the absolute world to me, and I feel like I'm sharing a big part of my childhood with you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, share it with anyone who you know that loves Adventure Time. Even if they don't, share it to a friend or family, and please don't forget to subscribe for more awesome videos. But let's close this video off with the grand finale. This is a piece that is the definitely highest price tag in my collection. It is very difficult to find. There are only 300 of them ever made, and it was a piece that I had told, I'll never forget, talking with my mom. Guys, my mom is responsible for getting me into collecting Funko, which then led us into designer toys, which then led us into, you know, everything else that we collect. So I want to give her a big shout out. Please give my mom a follow on Instagram at Funko_lover with 3 R's, and also check out her Mercari page for amazing collectibles, bear bricks, Funko Pops, plush, everything that you could ever think of. My mom has such an epic collection. But I had always told my mom, who, you know, collecting Funko was something that we started together, and it's something that I loved so much because I love my mom. She's just my best friend, and I'm so blessed to have the most incredible mother on the entire planet. We love collecting together, and we started collecting together. We would spend, you know, so much time on Whatnot, especially early on when Funko wasn't super popular on Whatnot, and it was so much fun to get to, you know, order pops. Like I would literally have like 10 boxes coming a day, especially when I got into Rick and Morty. That was crazy because the collection is huge. But anyways, I digress. I had always told my mom, if I can attain this pop, I would be comfortable considering my collection complete. I would be comfortable saying goodbye to Funko collecting, which, you know, that definitely didn't happen because I got a lot more pops after that. But I always had said if I had to choose one pop to close my collection out on, it would be this one. I would be comfortable, you know, saying I do not need any other props in my collection. That would be it. This pop means so much more than just a collectible to me. Again, it is a huge piece of my childhood, but this is such a rare piece that I was truly so blessed to be able to add to my collection. I had an amazing conversation with the collector who I purchased this from, and they were so sweet, and it was also like emotional because it was coming out of their collection and into mine. And, you know, I vowed and promised that I would take such great care of this, and this is a piece where it will never ever leave my collection. So guys, I present to you my favorite pop of all time, the most epic grail ever created in my opinion. It is the 2016 LE300 Emerald City Comic-Con exclusive Green Lich, baby. 300 pieces, and I own one of them, which is such a crazy thing to think about. Like I said, I started collecting Funko with my mom. My mom got me into collecting, and if I never got into collecting, I would have never met the love of my life. I would have never started on YouTube. I would have never been able to get this immense happiness from collecting and have met so many amazing friends. So I owe it all to my mom, because if it wasn't for her, I would not have the life that I do today. So I love you, mommy. Thank you so much. And I cannot thank you enough because collecting has changed my life, and you've changed my life in being the best mom that I could ever ask for. But guys, this piece is, you know, just so sentimental, brings up all these beautiful memories, and it is the Lich Emerald City Comic-Con. I love this piece for so many reasons, but artistically, I love that it was ECCC, and Paul makes jokes out of that all the time. He says like a million C's. I think it's so adorable. But they did it all green, and the box itself is all green, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get this piece. I was very fortunate to be able to purchase it. It is a mega grail. Nowadays it goes for over $1,000 US. It is incredibly hard to find because a lot of people do not let this piece out of their collection. I one time saw an out of box one, and I was like, oh my gosh, whoever took it out is definitely regretting getting rid of the packaging. I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But this pop is truly my favorite. It is just so gorgeous. I'll show you the label up close. So it says 300 pieces, the Lich Emerald City Comic-Con. I would have loved to go to the convention and get this there myself. It definitely would have been a lot cheaper to purchase it and getting it at a con, but I just love this piece so much. I can't believe, like I said, there's only 299 of these outside in the world in addition to mine. And it's crazy when you think about it. It really is. It puts it in perspective, and I feel like I'm very fortunate to have a piece of Funko history in my possession, and to think like, it's crazy when you think about it. If you know, you guys are collectors, you know exactly what I mean. It's got the 2016 sticker, of course the newer Funko logo, because this one was more recent, but this guy is 9 years old, guys. I mean, next year he'll be 10 years old, which is, again, pretty crazy to think about. So wanted to end this video with this Mega Grail that is my favorite in the whole collection. If you guys couldn't tell, that is why I'm so excited for Billy is the Lich to come out in this next NFT series too, because then I will have 1, 2, 3, 4 Liches in my collection, which I'm super excited about, and all of them will be different, which is really fun. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, this is one that I've always wanted to create for my channel. I've always wanted to share this piece of my childhood with you because it really brings me so much love and just happiness and excitement, and that's what collecting is all about. So a huge, huge thank you to all of you for watching. Let me know what your favorite piece is in my collection. Let me know if you collect Adventure Time or what you thought of this video. And again, I just want to give a huge shout out to my beautiful mom as well as my incredible family for, you know, so many of these beautiful pops that I've gotten for birthdays and holidays, especially birthdays. And, you know, they are just pops that I could never, ever bring myself to part with because they really bring so much of my childhood back. And if you know, you know, it's those pieces that collect with you that make collecting so beautiful. And some people I feel like will kind of, you know, look at pops and think, okay, it's an action figure or whatever it is, but it's when you find pieces like this, or, you know, for example, an old Marceline that I now have autographed. It's crazy to think about it, and they really mean so much more than just vinyl. So thank you guys. I hope you love this video. Thank you for sticking around if you've watched this whole thing for almost an hour. This is definitely hands down my longest upload. So again, I cannot thank you again enough for watching. I hope you loved it, and I will see you guys in the next video.